The folks at Dehancer reached out and proposed that I do an honest review of their film emulation plugin that works in Final Cut Pro as well as other video and photo editing softwares. So this video is not sponsored, but if you decide to purchase Dehancer, I will get a commission and you will get a 10% discount using the code in the description. The people at Dehancer didn't see this video prior to its release, so it's really an honest review. Right off the bat, I have to say that I started to edit videos just a few years ago, so I'm not at all a professional, and I just do that for my own pleasure, my own YouTube channel, and I don't get any money, and I'm not a professional. I just play around with the different plugins and effects that are in Final Cut Pro or other things I can grab for free usually. But Dehancer is not free, it's quite expensive, but you have a lot of things you can do with, as the little video clip in intro showed. So now let's jump in the computer and I'll show you how I use it before to tell you what I think about it. So here we are in Final Cut Pro. This is my timeline, and the best is to shoot your video clips in C-Log profile so you can get the most flexibility afterwards when you edit it. Usually I shoot with the neutral profile on my Canon R8. I don't usually shoot log, but this time I did, just to see how far you can edit, how good you can make the video using Dehancer. So here is the video clip in log profile. Then you go to your effect browser here, once you install Dehancer, needless to say, and you look for Dehancer, here it is. And then you can apply straight away onto your clip, or you can do like what I did, is to add an adjustment layer and then put the Dehancer plugin on top of it. So here is the Dehancer effect, and you have to choose the source, in this case my camera, then what brand, Canon, and what camera, Canon R8, and you can do that for all the cameras out there, you can find yours. And then here what format I shoot with. And I shot with the C-Log 3 Cinema Gamut. So then you convert your video first to get all the colors, contrast and everything, all the informations back onto your clip. Then you can do some adjustments like exposure, temperature and so on. And then here is the main part, the main thing about Dehancer. All the film emulation plugins they have are right there. So you can choose Kodak Portrait 400, Kodak Gold 200, whatever you like. I'm going to show you just using any of them. Here you see they are disabled, but if I enable, it's going to look like this, with and without. You can choose another one. And you see how they look. So different Kodak Vision 3 200T, Konica Centuria 100 DNP, sorry. I mean, you have a whole bunch of film emulation you can choose from, and probably you can just stop there and you already have quite some style, quite some nostalgia and the analog look. But of course, you can do much more than that. Actually, I didn't use any of the film emulation plugin because I like the way the video looks straight out of the camera, and I just want to add the extra sauce to make it look retro, to make it look analog. So here, Film Developer, I just increased the color separation to 100. I think it was by default, I don't remember. Here, Film Compression, I'm not gonna pretend I understand what it does, but if you do, if you have the knowledge, then you can play around with the different settings right there. It's very easy, just like pull and push the sliders. Expand, I think it was on by default, and I don't remember messing around with the different sliders, so I'm not sure what it does here. Here you have the print, and enable, disable. Here you can see the effect it's gonna do. I chose linear, but you can, choose different profile, like that. I think, in my opinion, linear works the best for this video clip. Then you can increase the color density or decrease it. I put the saturation to the max. I mean, you can do a lot of things like exposure, contrast, and so on. Then color head, again, you can mess around with the different colors, yellow, blues, magenta, green, and so on, but I didn't do any of that. I just left it disabled. I mean, there are so many more things that you could do than what I did with the video clip, whether you know what you're doing or you just want to learn by messing around. But for this particular project, and probably for my usual use, that's gonna be time consuming. So I'm not gonna dial in every single settings, although you could. But for me, I'm gonna go to those who matter the most in my editing process. So here the film grain, yes, film grain add this nostalgia, this retro look that we want. So I went for the 35mm ISO 250, but you can increase that, like more grain, or you can decrease that, a little less grain. But for me, the 35mm ISO 250 works the best, at least for this project. Highlightation, in case you don't know, it's going to be the red lining around the subjects. Let me show you in a video clip. Probably this one was going to work the best. So here is the flat C log, and if I enable Dehancer, so you can see here when I play the clip, the red edges around the leaves. So that's going to be your highlightation, and I think this is a very neat and nice feature you can play with when you edit. So I'm gonna enable that. Then the bloom. Bloom is when the light sources will be softened and give you a ethereal look. So very retro, very analog. And for this particular project, I use 8mm Super 8, but you can play around and try other profile. This one works the best in my opinion. Here you can add some film damage. Again, you can choose different profile. This time I use the 16mm, and you're gonna have some grunge damage on top of the film, of the footage, just like it was an actual film. Then you have film breath, which is flickering of the light source and slight shifts of contrast and colors to mimic the actual film, the actual imperfection of films onto your digital footage. So this is also an interesting feature, and here I use the 8mm Super 8. Then the gate weave is when the films jiggles a little bit, like if it was rolling and it jiggles, so that adds this little movement, not too much. I mean, you can choose the strength here. I went for the 8mm this time, but yeah, it makes the video like jiggle a little bit, jitter a little bit, and that's definitely one setting that adds this analog, this film, nostalgic film look. Here the overscan setting will add these little bars you have on the side of your image on usual films, so without, like this, with, like that. I like to add these little bars because it really looks like it's a film, right? Then you could add vignette, you could mess around with the monitor setting, I'm not sure what it does, the output and the LUT generator. I mean, there is so many things you can dial in and really go far with your editing process if you want to add this analog and nostalgic look to your digital video. I didn't do as far, and already you could see from the intro video that I could achieve this analog look quite easily just by checking some boxes, adding some effects, playing around with the sliders, choosing the different profiles. So as you can see, the Dehancer plugin is quite complete and you can achieve a lot of tweaking, a lot of effects, and you can add a lot of sauce to make your digital video look like an analog film. I will probably learn as I use it, but already with my basic knowledge and just my curiosity trying different stuff, I achieved this analog look that is very popular these days. That being said, the price is very high, so it's not necessary for everybody. If you start editing videos, probably Dehancer is too much of an investment for you, and it might come later along the way as you get better at editing with the tools you already have at your disposal. But if you have the budget and if you want to push your style even further into the realm of analog and film retro look, then Dehancer is a serious option to consider. I had quite some fun trying it out, and I'm very happy with the result I got, and I'm excited for the future video I'm gonna make with it. So if you are interested in buying Dehancer, you can use the code Guillaume10 at checkout to get 10% discount. As for me, I'm very excited for what's coming in 2026. I wish you all a happy end of the year holidays, and until next year, enjoy the ride and spread the love.